Hey, Jonathan here. I've got a question from Matt Olpinski. Thanks, Matt. And his question is, how do you prevent clients from doing some quick math and potentially balking at the effective rate? So what Matt's talking about here is probably a shorter term project where you're maybe going to do 2 weeks or something like that. And the outcome is very valuable. So you've priced it fairly high. So maybe you're getting, I don't know, $50,000 for what seems like 2 weeks worth of work. And the client sort of says, well, that's maximum of probably 80 hours divided, and they do the division, and it comes out to like a really high effective hourly rate, and they start to get cold feet. When somebody brings that to you, if somebody presents that to you, says, hey, this seems like a lot of money. I mean, even if you worked full time, you'd be making $800 an hour or something like that. You can say, a lot of times I'll just sort of address it with humor and say, well, I could take longer if you want, and kind of break the pointedness of the question, and then bring it back and say, look, it's not about how many hours it takes me to work. You're hiring me as an expert because I've spent years and years getting good at this stuff. As we discussed in the sales meeting or in the initial phone call, this is really important to get right the first time, and it's going to have really big downstream effects for the next year, maybe more than a year. So we want to get it done right. We need to get it done quickly. This is urgent for you, and you don't have time to do it over again because we won't find out we did it wrong until much later. So what you're really getting for your money here is decreased risk, and you're getting quicker time to market, and the increased likelihood that the project overall, the implementation phase, is going to be a success. If whatever the price was, if $20,000 or whatever I said, $50,000, if that doesn't seem like a fair price for that, or that doesn't seem like a reasonable investment, then that's fine. We haven't started yet. We can just call the whole thing off. What would you like to do? And you put the ball back in their court. So what I'm doing there is I'm taking the conversation away, I'm moving the conversation away from this sort of hourly labor inputs, you're going to tell me what to do kind of conversation, and moving it back to let's focus on the outcome here, let's look at the big picture, and here's why you hired an expert, because this is a very risky project that we need to get right the first time. Hopefully that helps. If you've got questions, just hashtag Ask Jonathan on Twitter, and I will answer on the show. See you next time.